Yeah, good afternoon to all of you, and warm welcome to this 24th in the series webinar on a topic today that is abuse of technology and social media, prevention and mitigation. Friends, this is the 24th in the series webinar by International Human Resource Development Initiative, which is IHRDI. And friends, this topic as such is very important because somehow, especially after the COVID came up, a lot of the time has been now spent on the social media, and the technology has become so supreme. Though it has many positives also, but somehow many negatives are also being highlighted, especially by the press, the print media, and the electronic media also. Now, while preparing for this topic, two very important treatises that came to my mind was one is this book, "The World Is Flat" by Thomas Friedman. It describes how the technologies are converging the entire world, and the entire world has become a big global village as such. And the book and the author says that the new things that have happened is this the distances are being killed. There's a lot of collaboration between the countries as such, and the physical presence is not required now to do work because with the optical fibers coming on, and one can work from one country like with BPOs and KPOs. So the various issues that the book talks about is outsourcing, offshoring, supply chaining, insourcing, informing, etc. What comes to the mind is that the use of ICT or information communication technologies has reduced distances. It then there are many other aspects also, in the sense that now we have better governance because of this ICT technology. We have a good banking system, whereas we are moving towards cashless or less cash economies, and this has brought about transparency and accountability also to the entire system. Now to the counter view, which I was reading, is another book by MIT professor Sherry Turkle. The name of the book is Reclaiming Conversation. And the book studies the impact of technology on social conversation, and it stresses the role of conversation in our daily lives. It says that the author, acknowledges the good points about the technology, but says that the technology, especially the ICT and especially smartphones and laptops, they have reduced the quality of the talk. It has reduced the empathic connection that the two speakers would have upon each other. And I think because this is because of the reduced attention span that now it is therein. People have become so susceptible to cell phones and get a neurochemical high from the constant stimulation that a phone provides. And this addiction, for posing various videos on the social media, and posing everything on the social media, and then expecting and seeking likes, is leading to a lot of anxiety. So I think, which the psychological viewpoint and behavioral, Dr. Son Singh will be also talking about. Now, to generally talk about this impact, this technology has an impact on all walks of our life, including the social aspects, wherein, as Professor Sherry Turkle has also talked about, lesser conversation, attention deficits, etc. And then it has an impact on the economic aspects also. Like I said, on one hand, the banking and the cashless economies and all has improved our lives, but on the other hand, it has led to cyber fraud, cyber stalking. It has led to thefts. It has led to, and further things like e-bullying, pornography. All these have trolling. All these have also come out, and I think people are busy without work the entire day altogether. Further, it has been noticed, especially the health issues that arise because of abuse and overuse of technology, in terms of the eyes, the radiations that we are getting, and even on the minds and the attention deficit that comes around. And add to it the behavioral issues that have arisen because of the addiction part, less focus, speech delay. I was talking to one of the doctors in PGI, wherein there is now under the psychiatry department. I mean, she said we are having number of patients every day who are, addicted and who on the negative side of the abuse of technology. Generally, while we are, talking about everybody is vulnerable to this, the adults also, but the kids are more vulnerable because they are using it generally not for the good purposes, but for the things like entertainment, gaming, the PUBG. You would be knowing how people are so addicted on PUBG. Then the content, the colored content, the pornography, etc. So they are the more vulnerable section of the society. Though adults are also vulnerable, but since adults they were in the transition phase only, so they can still balance out. And today's, just to emphasize on this aspect, if you see today's Times of India, there are two stories on this. One story say how vaccine myths are spreading in India. This is one story. The other story says 9 months of screen learning are taking a toll on the children. So just emphasize, because what we are thinking, even the press is also thinking about this. So these two aspects, brings about two different issues or two negative connotations of social impact, media impact. One is, how when we talk about vaccine myths, so that means it brings to the mind the fake news, it brings to the mind aggressive news, and you club it out with the various agitations and all. So political coloring, the religious coloring, and which may lead even to riots, conflicts, and everything. So this one area is also a very negative aspect of it. And the second talks about, how children have been affected because of the social media and abuse of the smartphones, especially during the COVID time. But friends, now, as you know, that this is a very, very vast topic. And we have already done a webinar on, cyber security, and we have done a webinar on how the e-bullying and all these banking frauds and all they have impacted. So today, during this 90 minutes or 100 minutes that we have, we will be focusing on, firstly, the role of social media and its authenticity of news, how it can be curbed, how it can be prevented, and how it can be improved. Secondly, we'll be talking about, the impact of technology, social media, especially on the kids, especially on the behavioral part of in that, and how to prevent and mitigate if there are problems. Thirdly, and which we thought just I thought one night before, is the impact actually, because see, we have to take all stakeholders in viewpoint, rather than sometimes whatever we may talk, the kids may not agree to whatever we are talking as such. So we have taken one of the student also on the panel today, and this is the first time we are doing, because otherwise it's more of grown-ups people. So this is a class 10 student who will be talking about her perspective of why they are using social media, why they are using phones, because then only we'll be able to know better perspective of this may be a generation gap, this may be utility also. So for this, focusing on these three aspects in this 90 or 100 minutes, we have three very, very important panelists today. Ms. Parul, who joins us from Indian Express, Dr. Son Singh, who's an eminent psychologist, and Ms. Krisha, who's a student. Now, just to give a little brief about all the three panelists, Ms. Parul is presently working with Indian Express as an editor. She has an over 20 years experience as a reporter, a writer, an editor, and rewrite person in various Indian national newspapers and dailies. She is a consistently dependable team player who thrives in high pressure environment. She enjoys the challenges of meeting deadlines, and she manages a big team of people for getting good results. And she is very comfortable in research, in writing, in editing, on a wide range of subjects. So friends, with your permission, I have the honor to welcome Ms. Parul on this dais. Welcome, ma'am, to this IHRDI platform, and I hope your views will be very enlightening as of today, because this is a major issue.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah. The second panelist, my dear friends, is Dr. Son Singh. Dr. Son Singh is a psychologist by profession. He's a trainer by interest and passion, and being a founder of Nimit Matra Experiential Training Private Limited. Prior to this, on his own, he has worked with various institutions like ICFI Business School, MIT Global School. He is a part of Mahatma Gandhi State Institute faculty members, the guest faculty, and he's now a trainer to various multinational corporations and various Indian corporates. he is also running a very, very unique program by the name of Nirbhaya, which prepares the students for the physical and mental toughness. And on his own, because he is a friend also of mine, on his own, he is an avid sports and fitness person who has traveled as far as to Ladakh on cycle. He is taking various trips. He is into rafting. I mean, he is everything which is, strengthening the physical. I mean, I say him is a commando without uniform. So, welcome, Dr. Son Singh, to this podium, and he's already there in one of the programs earlier also, and he talks so well because he's so interactive, and he's so joined with the roots. The third panelist, my friends, today is Krisha. She is a student of Class 10 Ryan International School. She loves speaking, she loves debating, and she is also a budding actor who wants to get into acting. She loves traveling and organizing events. So it is only, last night also which we thought over, and she has agreed to be a part of this panel. So welcome, Krisha, also to this podium. And I hope your perspective will give a good effect to, how students think about.
Thank you so much, sir.
So not taking long, I will request my first panelist of the day, Ma'am Parul, to talk about, being an experienced person from the media, to talk about, how social media is coming up and how things are shaping up. So welcome, Parul ma'am, to the podium.
Thank you to you, Dr. Sanjeev, for this wonderful opportunity. I am not as young as Krisha, and so social media is something that is new for us as well in the world of newspapers and print media, and less for probably the electronic media, which had access to social media much before than we did. But the topic that you have put forward today is extremely important and valid. And it has, I would call it a double-edged sword, actually, technology and social media, because it has great impacts on the life of the young in terms of positivity, as well as for us in the media. And as you mentioned, it has far-reaching consequences, which can lead to a lot of issues, as we have seen in more so in the last 9 months than ever before, because we were confined to our homes. We are still working from home. And this is where I thought that technology could really aid our work in terms of having our meetings, having discussions, etc. But coming straight to the point, because we have just about 15 minutes each, as Dr. Chadda and I had discussed that we could talk a little about fake news also, which is not restricted to only social media. It is now spread in the electronic media as well as the print media, which is very sad. I will not take any names, but if you see the channels every day, it's trivia that rules, and negative news that rules, and much of it is not true. And as all of you are very, very well-read and very intelligent people, it's very, honestly, I would say that these are, fake news comes from not just one person. They are extremely like factories. Fake news are like factories where you have big establishments who are paid money by all walks of life, people from all walks of life, be it businessmen, be it politicians, who pay people to write fake news. So the accounts and the Instagram accounts and even Wikipedia. Today is a very valid article on how Wikipedia has so much fake news, and a lot of students use this Wikipedia for taking information for their projects, for their studies. And teachers have warned them again and again that if you take help from Wikipedia, your project will not be accepted. So Dr. Chadha, to come straight to the point, social media has played a lot of havoc with the minds of the adolescents. And to give a very valid example, which is not too far back, we all remember the Boris Locker controversy, which happened in Delhi recently, where through the social media, it was said that elite boys from schools in Delhi were posting pictures of young girls, were posting their messages, were posting a lot of material which was harmful to the girls or their colleagues. And then there was a Instagram post on gang rape, where one young girl said that, there was a gang rape. When the police and the social, police investigated the matter, it turned out that it was all fake. And in the process, Varun, a 17-year-old who was named in this controversy, jumped from the roof and died. And the reaction of the young girl who had posted his name was that if I wanted to see if he can take pressure. And if he cannot take pressure, then it's not my fault. So social psychologists were appalled by this attitude that someone has died, and he was nowhere involved. It all turned out that it was all fake. And this young 17-year-old died because he was not, he didn't want his family or himself to suffer. So this trickled a lot of debate in our own media circles on what is the truth. So if 17-year-olds and 16-year-olds can, with a post or with a comment, can commit suicide, what kind of parenting, what kind of teaching, what kind of social warmth are we providing to these children that they cannot come and talk to us, but they depend completely on social media to share their angst, to share their life, their everything. So this was a very, very disturbing incident that has happened not too long back, probably 6 or 7 months back. And the media covered it very well. So this was one example I wanted to, share with you in terms of adolescent health. And the second one is also, I would request all of you, I don't have the time, but there is a new study which has been done by MIT professors in a journal called Science. It is a worldwide journal where they say that fake news travels faster than any other news. And it's a beautiful study on Twitter. They have taken Twitter, and I will, if you permit, I will just read out one of the findings that I found it extremely interesting, that what they have said in their survey. So quoting from Science, it's on Atlantic. The study has been published on an international journal called Atlantic. So I'm just going to read out. Falsehoods always beat out the truth on Twitter, penetrating further, faster and deeper into the social network than accurate information. A false story is more likely to go viral than a real story. A false story reaches 1,500 people 6 times quicker on average than a true story. And while false stories outperform the truth on every subject, including business, terrorism, war, science and technology, fake news about politics regularly does best. And this is a beautiful study, as well as there is a new study on teenage impact of social media. And the report, this is again a US-based study, which says that 13% of kids aged between 12 and 17 report depression because of social media, and 32% report anxiety. 25% of 18 to 25-year-olds report mental illness. These age groups report high use of social media, The survey found that 90% of the teens believe online harassment is a problem for people their age, and 63% identify it as a major problem. So harassment is turning out to be one of the cyberbullying, and harassment is turning out to be one of the major problems that adolescents are facing on social media. And as you pointed out, Dr. Chadha, it creates a lot of anxiety, which Dr. Sohan Singh, of course, will be able to tell us better. And talking about today's time and fake news, I'm interrelating the both. In the COVID times, we had some very, very fake news floating around, which caused a lot of problems, not just for healthcare workers, but also in terms of religious sentiments. There was a what's sorry, there was a WhatsApp video that went viral, which said that a Muslim man spit on a piece of bread. And what happened was that people stopped buying things from Muslim people. The Talibi Jamaat, as we know, it was blown out of proportion, saying that they are spreading the infection. It all went because it was all fake because of viral videos. The meat sellers in Delhi uh, had to go out of business because there was fake WhatsApp messages and videos saying that if you eat meat, you will get COVID. And there were so many people who went out of business in poultry and meat because there were fake news about meat as, during COVID. Also, as you must have also read, as I also cover health for the newspaper, we had a lot of controversies regarding. I'm not supporting anyone here, but there were a lot of news that were coming. If you take steam, COVID will be cured. If you drink turmeric water, you will not get COVID. If you take this medicine from Baba Ramdev, you will be cured of COVID. There were WhatsApp messages, there were videos, they were floating all around. And one of the doctors at PGI told me that if you want to do something, please write an article that do not go for anything that is not validated by medicine. He says, because half the people come to us after 5 days of infection and there's nothing we can do about it because they are self-medicating with home remedies. So he had a very valid point that, this is not a normal viral flu. This is a very dangerous infection. And what we have to beat is the social media and the fake news to help people understand that it is very important to come straight to the doctor. This was one of the COVID news. And the other news that went really viral were during the Delhi riots that happened in Delhi recently. We all know about them. There were a lot of controversies about the kind of WhatsApp messages we were getting, the kind of videos we were getting, again dividing the Hindu and Muslim populations. What we fail to understand is these are all mechanisms. These are all done by people who sit there and they are instructed to write. I have a friend who works for a political agency, and she says that all we have to do is write 500, 600 tweets every 20 minutes saying the government is doing this development, the government is supporting this. She says more than 90% of them are untrue. But people don't understand that we are about 70 employees who have been just employed to write tweets, to write fake news, to send WhatsApp videos. So it's a very dangerous area if we as people are not able to understand that what is the truth and what is not the truth. And of course, this is the topic that you had asked me to talk about in terms of the fake news. And also there is, I've mentioned the science study. And then there is a lovely survey by the BBC which has taken out 5 or 6 major fake news channels. If you could later check it out on how these channels promote fake news. Dr. Chadha, porn is something that you had mentioned earlier, and this is becoming one of the major issues, as we have discussed in offices also, that easy access to porn by young minds who do not know. As adults, we know what is right, and I'm not giving any moral judgment here, on what is safe for our body and mind. That is most important than any moral judgment. That there is a certain age for, we have to protect our body, mind, and soul. So apparently, because of easy access to porn, there is a lot of there are a lot of young people who unknowingly are getting entrapped into the business of porn for easy money. And these are stories that I mean, all of you are welcome to see them, that social media and easy access to porn is helping the industry grow in terms of getting young children involved in this industry. And by young children, I mean as young as 14 to 17 years old. I think my time will be up now. The problem is that society is not keeping in pace with the rapidly changing technology. We think that we are keeping pace, but sometimes we do not understand the unfamiliar. And as a journalist, my only thing is that we have to understand what is not for us. And also another valid point that I wanted to touch upon, which Dr. Sohan Singh can also later, that social media has also increased the gap between people, between the young and the older generations. I so many times I go to a restaurant and I see a family of four sitting on a table on their mobile phones and not talking to each other. I think I think the young have lost the art of going for a walk and having a conversation with a friend. They they prefer to text than to talk, and that is leading. Dr. Sohan, of course, will be the best person to say it. But one of the psychiatrists at PGI said that this is causing a lot of depression and anxiety. And during the COVID, they had to have telemedicine started during the COVID time, because they just couldn't deal with the anxiety and depression that, yeah, and mostly the young people, because they don't know how to deal with and how to be with themselves and others, because they are so addicted. So I would like probably Dr. Sohan Singh to take this further, and if there are any questions later, which can come back to me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Parul ma'am. You set the ball rolling, and definitely.
And I was on time. I
Yeah,
finished
yeah,
on time.
that's the best part. That's the best part. My team member saying, I mean, the first time people, ma'am, is on time. Otherwise, we tend to overshoot also.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot for this. Now I request the second panelist for the day, Krisha, to talk about the perspective of students and youth. Why even after so much coaxing, after so much cajoling with the older generation, why the younger generation is still on the social media and Facebook and others, and why they are thriving on it. Yeah, Krisha.
Good afternoon, Dr. Sanjeev sir, and all my co-participants. I'm very glad and delighted to be here. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to express my views on such a great platform. And I would like to speak about the perspective of the youths using social media and technologies. So, social media allows us to create online identities, communicate with others, and build social networks. These networks can provide us with valuable support, especially helping those who experience exclusion or have disabilities or chronic illnesses. We can also use social media for entertainment and self expression purposes. And the platforms can expose us to current events, allow us to interact across geographic barriers, and teach us about a variety of subjects. including healthy behaviors. Social media provides a meaningful connection to peers, and a wide social network might even help us avoid depression. Exploring and experimenting social media can help us build knowledge and skills to enjoy online activities and avoid online risks. We use social media to share educational content, and with educational content, we can also showcase our talent to the world through this platform. We become creative with profile pages, maybe photographs and videos, and also with modifications for games. Social media is also useful in mental health and well-being of an individual, connecting with extended family and friends and taking part in local and global online communities can give us a sense of connection and belonging. It helps in faster communication. Social applications are playing an intensive role in terms of linking people. It gives a platform to those who cannot travel and find it inconvenient to move out to meet people. Different apps like WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram maybe have been introduced for this purpose. And now people don't need to spend money and travel to meet people physically. They can meet their dear and loved ones by just making a video call. And text messages are the fastest and the cheapest means of communication that are being promoted day by day. We can find social media advantages to remain connected with our friends and family even if we live in abroad. It has become easier for people to live outside the country to stay in touch with their friends and family. For the youth, social media is very useful in terms of educational purposes and information. We find it quite easy and quick to find different queries regarding education. Like it is just one type and we get hundreds of answers and solutions to our questions. And students are getting advantages of social media in order to get help. Some explore new ideas, find information and new strategies to improve their work and as well as studies. Social media can be as beneficial for teachers to learn new techniques to teach students with different approaches. And if we talk about increased skills, social media is such a power as it can give chances to the user to improve their skills for which they do not even need to go out. It gives online tutorials and it helps in online studies as well. And many online selling apps use social media for the announcement of their products. Many famous stores like Amazon, eBay, and Alibaba also take advantages of these social networks websites, which indeed leads to their product selling and business promotion. And except from this, during the pandemic time, social media has helped us the most. The role of the different mass media channels and social media in lives of individuals, social and societal levels cannot be underestimated. Social media platforms have become helpful for people to maintain communication with friends and family, to reduce isolation and boredom, which have been associated with anxiety and long-term distress. Social media allows us for more e-learning opportunities as well, as remote jobs and online classes are becoming more popular. Training students to work from a distance is an important lesson, and social media can help with that. Social media has decreased the percentage of depression during lockdown. The lockdown period has led to increased anxiety and depression amongst people. And with the help of social media, many people from all over the world uploading motivational videos, songs, poetries, etc., to help those who are facing anxiety and other psychological issues. And these videos are helping people at some level to get rid of anxiety and depression. And social media is also helping people to interact with their loved ones and to their families which they cannot meet or cannot travel due to lockdown. And like any other thing, social media also have its good and bad side both. And if we use it in a bad way, it will definitely give us a negative impact, but if we use it wisely and in a good way, it will definitely be very useful and positive to us. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Krisha, because I think now this is a call for debate, because what we were expecting in the sense that the social media is leading to, frustrations it is leading to depressions. But you have set a new perspective in saying that it is actually, helping people come out of frustrations, and their motivation lectures also on this, and the depressions are rather being reduced on because of following social media. And the one thing I think that is evident in your talk is that the entire world or the world view of the youth, especially the student, is revolving around social media, because you have highlighted so many advantages of social media as such, and I think some of them are true also to that extent. Now I'll request Dr. Son Singh to take up from here, because now I think this becomes an interesting debate, because Dr. Son Singh is one who's dealing with a lot of kids on the behavioral issues, and so he can talk about his own experiences and certain case studies, what he felt on the issue. So Dr. Son Singh, the stage is all yours now.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. Krisha and Parul ma'am, they have been excellent in their points. Especially Krisha, I congratulate you, beta, at this age. You are just a 10th class students, but all the evidences that you have given, it has made my job a bit difficult. They are. And Parul ma'am, thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, sir.
Parul ma'am, thank you so much that you mentioned three, 4 times my name. Not for the my name, but you felt that a psychologist is needed here, and that's what I really feel. And one of the incident that you shared, that one of the guys who was just 17 years old was falsely implicated in one of the posts, and he committed suicide. So that was very heart touching. And let me tell you, ma'am, and to all the audience that is with us. That when somebody commits physical suicide, it is very much evident because sometimes it becomes news and other things. But every time somebody gets trolled on social media, a psychological suicide also happens. If a person is here at self-confidence level or at self-esteem level, one comment that is called body shaming, or a comment about anything, that the level of that person, of the confidence of that person, self-esteem of the person, that gets hit. I very well agree with Krisha that I should be saying that most of my 90% of my business, because I run a program called Nirbhay. That program is meant for those people who are too much into social media or they are not very sure of themselves. I put them into natural conditions where they have to pitch their tent themselves, they have to get water for themselves, they have to cook for themselves. If you don't know how to cook, there would be no help given to you. You have to cook yourself. Whatever you have to do, you have to walk even barefoot. I make them mentally and physically strong. But I add mostly ads I give on. If you see my Facebook profile, I was thinking in the morning that how many times I use Facebook in a month. And surprisingly, I have used Facebook 2 times in a whole month. And that's so 90% of my posts are business posts, because I know most of my clients are youngsters and they are on that platform, Facebook. That's why I have to be on Facebook. And sometimes I run some social campaigns, like there was a girl who was gang raped and murdered. So I ran a campaign for that. I walked 300 kilometers for that. And through social media, I was connected with people. So as the time is limited, I very well agree that it has got some use. The same argument is given by the government. When we say, why don't you ban liquor? They say revenue is huge. And if you do not sell, anybody will, it would be sold by anyone else. So it's not going to help. I will tell you as a psychologist, social media, overuse of it, overuse of it. Over a few, because it is a currency now, social media currency. How many likes you have got, how many people follow you, that's the currency of social media. If you have posted one thing, and I can say in my family, my daughter is 17 years old, no social media account, no phone is given to her, and all other youngsters in my family, because I know the frontal lobe of your brain. As a psychologist, I can tell you it is why the driving age is 18 years old. Why not 17? Why not 19? Why there are so many restrictions that if you are not of 18 years of age, you won't be using this particular thing, because the frontal lobe is not that much developed and people know how to start, but they don't know when to stop. So I would please request, I might be a little harsh on it, because all the cases of depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, they come from social media use most of the time. I will give you one simple tip as a psychologist. What I want you to do is, whenever you go to any social media site, rate your mood like you are 10, you are very happy, or 9 or 8, your mood is just great. After using it for 1 hour or half an hour, or for any time that you are using that social media thing, now again rate your mood. Don't go by any evidence, although I would be giving you some evidences, research evidences, what research says. But I always agree that your truth is your truths. There are certain universal truths, but that God is everywhere, if that is a truth, barring those people who don't believe. But you need to find it out for yourself whether God is there or not, or whether this thing is true or not. I have, although with all due respect to Parul ma'am, my mental health has improved a lot. I have stopped consuming two things: news and social media, because most of the time I have to apply my brain like anything to find out whether this is true or whether this is not true. On my social media account, nobody can send me some religious colored material or pornographic material or anything. You have to set, if you have got WhatsApp, you can't uninstall that, because some official information would be coming through that. But you can give feedback to the people who are sending you. What is so-called best friend group? 90% of sexually implicated material is there. That is our best friends things. Or you join one particular group, you would be sending Hindus are doing this, Muslims are doing this, this is doing this, this is doing this. We don't, and the way I react to people, I opt out from any political discussion, from any religious discussion on WhatsApp or any other platform. I unfollow those people on Facebook or anything who I see colored for one particular opinion. On social media is a Pandora box. There are some good things, there are some bad things. What you are choosing. And let me give you the psychological thing, why it is so addictive. Because when you don't know what is going to happen, dopamine thing is coming. Dopamine neurotransmitters, it gets secreted. So when you have posted a particular picture, you don't know how many likes or how many will follow you, or so that kind of thing. It is kind of how many, and it gets reinforced. I would please suggest you, just post your pic, don't see whatever happening is everywhere. I never see anybody's post in social media. कौन क्या post कर रहा है, मेरे को कुछ नहीं लेना भाई उससे, वो अपनी जिंदगी में मस्त रहे. I'm telling you as a psychologist, what happens, why we feel sometimes bad by overly, although it is related to depression and anxiety. I will tell you how it is related, although there are some other factors also. On social media, somebody has bought a new car, somebody has got some prize, somebody has gone somewhere, somebody has got engaged, somebody has got married. All people put whatever best is happening in their life. So you have 500 friends. 50 of them would be celebrating and would be posting on Instagram, Facebook, wheresoever. Okay. So you come to a conclusion unconsciously, subconsciously in your mind that everyone's life is just awesome. Everybody is traveling, everybody is getting a pay raise, everybody is getting this, everybody is getting that. But what happens when you look at your life, you know the ugly part also, the average part also, and the best part also. So when you look at your life, you get the best picture of your life, the holistic picture of your life. But when you see at social media, you get the best part of people, and you can't stop your mind from comparing your life with their life. A person might have bought a very expensive car, but he's never going to post that today I got a notice from bank. Now, what has happened? To one of my relatives, it was posted, it is my hubby's birthday. It is my hubby's birthday, and it is all those kinds of things. I said, I know that particular person because he was very introvert. He can't post all those kinds of things. जब मैंने पूछा तो it was called that he will never post. I have myself posted by signing out into his account. And I will tell you, अगर आपको कोई couple आजकल लग रहा है जो बहुत ज्यादा घूम रहा है, I know as a counselor, people come to me, those are on the verge of divorce, but they go for touring or to some places just to show the people that everything is great in their life. उनकी आप डीपी देख लो ना तो हीर रांझा वाली होती है, और पर्सनल लाइफ देख लो ना तो भारत पाकिस्तान वाली होती है. So I will tell you, there was a example of social media, क्योंकि अच्छाइयाँ तो बता दी है कृष्णा ने सारी. So I am discussing on that particular point. Please uninstall Facebook or all other apps, and if you want to browse them, please go through some. As you can type Facebook and you can enter there, turn off your notifications. I bet as a psychologist, if we don't do that, I am the most beneficial person, because my program, my services, they all get benefited when people use social media. मेरे मजे है क्योंकि they have to come to me for depression, anxiety. मेरे channel के इतने follower, उसके channel के इतने follower. So I will. So there is some question to me, please. I would read it. That Chada sir, can you read that question to me? It has just gone away from my screen. Somebody has posted one question. Somebody has posted some question. Let me see. How can I see that?
Yeah. It says that please clarify with the methodology to screen the authenticity of the messages,
Okay.
if worth reading. Methodology to screen the authenticity of the
first
messages.
thing is that all social media is, most of the social media content is UGC, user generated content. If there is any news coming that this person has done this, please verify it from various platforms. I have come to a conclusion, there is null hypothesis. This is neither true, this is neither false. I would go for the, if somebody says the research says this, what was the sample size of the research, where that research was conducted, and who has funded that particular research. If you can't do that much research, please don't, as Parul ma'am is better expert on that. If you haven't done research on that particular thing, you can't be 100% sure on somebody's else research that this is true. Then you will say it is a very tiresome work. Then if for every news I have to research that where that incident has happened, what is the authenticity and all that, then how can, please stop forwarding. प्लीज स्टॉप फॉरवर्डिंग. आप हल्दी का काढ़ा पी के ठीक होते हैं या नहीं होते हैं जब तक आपने अपनी रिसर्च नहीं की. आई वाज yesterday in a webinar, somebody asked me, what do you say, is psychology related to zodiac sign? I would have said I would have said something to look intellectual, because when you deny traditional things, you look intellectual. That is new tradition. You deny whatever is traditional, you deny that, and an intellectual tag is given to you. I said I haven't done research on zodiac signs, so I can't tell you whether zodiac signs tell us something about human psychology or not. I would be only, I am not denying it, I am not approving it, because I have not done that research. To all the people using social media, I would say, if you want to forward a message, it might be best of the messages. If somebody says Gita says this, you have to actually read the Gita, and then you can say that somebody's message forwarded. Okay, I will be telling you, because the time is limited, I would be telling you some of the things that you can, how you can minimize social media use. I will giving you one particular formula. It is called 111. 111 means that please uninstall or just mute your notification firstly for 1 hour of certain apps. I don't want you to go cold turkey. I want you to, there are certain business messages also. For 1 hour, then go for one part of the day, then go for one whole day. Next, you can try it for a particular app for 1 week, now for 1 day, 1 week, then for 1 month. And I will tell you that connecting with people electronically or on social media, it is also of value, but it decreases, it plays havoc on physical, on mental health. Physical health, you are just sitting and scrolling. And on mental health, because you are always comparing with other people, what other people have got, what I have. I will tell you one simple thing. I am a trainer. I am a motivational speaker. One thing I will be expressing myself. there was one fellow whom I motivated to come on online and to give webinar or to give all those kinds of things. Then that particular person did that. And once when he or she was conducting that particular seminar or was growing, I asked myself what I am feeling. I was feeling bit jealous. Although I motivated the same person. भाई तू कर. जब भाई ने किया और उसके फॉलोअर्स बढ़े, यहाँ पे ना कुछ फीलिंग ठीक नहीं हुई. आई एम ए साइकोलॉजिस्ट, दिस शुड नॉट हैपन, बट आई नेवर डिनाई द ह्यूमन इमोशंस. देन आई गॉट टू नो. मैंने कहा यार ये क्यों हो रहा है. बिकॉज पहले ना कोई आपको सपोज कीजिए, सिंपल सा एग्जांपल देता हूँ. यू आर 3 फ्रेंड्स. एक फ्रेंड ने एक आपको इग्नोर किया, दूसरे फ्रेंड को ले जाके वो फिल्म देखने चला गया. ओके, नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस कि आपको वो पता लगता था 5 दिन बाद, या पता लगता भी ना कि ये गए थे, बट दे हैव पोस्टेड इट ऑन फेसबुक. अब आपने जलना ना वहीं से शुरू कर दिया है. अच्छा मेरे बगैर. सो आई एम सेइंग दैट जो आपको कंपैरिजन जेलसी वगैरह फेसबुक से ज्यादा मिलता है, वो आपको और कहीं से नहीं मिल पाता. प्लीज म्यूट नोटिफिकेशन. एंड इफ यू वांट टू नो वेदर यू आर एडिक्टेड और नॉट, just not be on those social media platform for some time. And one tip I have given to you, always do one thing. Don't bother about research or something. Research is what you do yourself. Before you start using social media, just check your mood, whether it is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And after you have used it for some time, then again check your mood. And you can do it for 10 days or 15 days. Your answer would be with you. Don't go by research or anything. And you then, if it says it lift up my mood, I leave it up to you. If it says no, yeah, after using social media I don't feel that much good as I was feeling previously, so that I leave up to you. And finally I will tell, even poison, when used in moderation, that is medicine. But moderation, self control is the thing that you need to. But I would request, please, सोशल मीडिया पे किसी को विश करने से पहले उसको फोन करके विश कर लिया जाए ना, लोगों के साथ एक्चुअली जुड़ा जाए, तो दैट वुड बी ग्रेट. That would be great. So, having said all this, I think going by the time sir has given to me, now there was, because discussion also happens in if participant would be asking something. So I rest my case here. Rest to the Chadda sir. I would be available to answer the questions if any to me. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Sohan. You've talked about your experiences also, and your personal viewpoints also on this and how this could be minimized. As such, I think some good points have come up. Now, we can have we have some time left with us, and that's pretty good, because all the 3 panelists, they were quiet on time and they didn't overshoot. So we can have a few questions also. Yeah, I think Arvinder sir wants to talk.
संजीव 5 minutes.
Yes sir, yes sir, please, pleasure.
सबसे पहले तो I think I sincerely appreciate all the 3 speakers. They were wonderful. 3 different ideas coming from 3 different persons. कहीं overlapping नहीं हुई. बहुत अच्छा combination with all the 3 speakers. पिछले साल I think 13 महीने हो गए, October last year, I got an opportunity of going to a place. This is called Fafa Island. This is in South Pacific. I was on an assignment with one of the universities in that region in Fiji, and I decided that, okay, let me spend some 3 days. This is an island where there are only 14 fales, 14 houses, 14 huts managed by one German husband and wife. This is a place where there is no internet allowed, completely isolated. You just go and spend your holiday. I was all alone, and 3 days which I spent, the time of introspection which I got, introspection about myself, my inner self, because end of the day, when you are talking about happiness or unhappiness, that depends how much time we spend for ourselves, within ourselves. That is one of the most important thing. जब से ये सोशल मीडिया, जब से ये internet and electronic media, it has come in abundance. I think डिसप्रपोर्शनेटली ज़्यादा उसमें। वैसे मैं तो इतना यूज़ नहीं करता हूँ। आई कंप्लीटली एग्री विद मिस्टर सोहन सिंह कि जितना कम यूज़ करो उतना अच्छा। एंड आई हैव समहाउ फॉलोड। हो सकता है कुछ उम्र का भी अपना एक डिफरेंट व्यू पॉइंट हो। मैंने बहुत देर तक तो फेस टाइम कभी शुरू ही नहीं किया था। देन बिकॉज ऑफ some job compulsion, sometime you have to get into these kind of things. I was not using at all, but then sometime you have to use it because of the different kind of compulsions, but still limited. What I'm trying to say is that jitna ye bada hai out proportionate, we have stopped giving time to ourselves. For getting happiness, that is the most important thing in our life. And the kind of information rightly said by Mr. Sohan Singh कि क्या है हम दूसरों की लाइफ को देख रहे हैं, particularly we people who have been into using the print media abhi bhi, I personally feel that when I'm reading a newspaper, that gives me much more time when I'm reading it in the process of thinking and some good ideas. But when I read some news or go through some social media, it is so fast and quick that I get on to the next without pouring into, without dilating upon any of the new things which I could grasp, because there is too much coming in and less of that getting into our mind. पीछे एक दोस्त हैं, आई थिंक पारुल वुड बी, आई डोंट नो, she may be more knowing about this. The resident correspondent, one of my friends from Patiala, we were sitting together and talking. He said कि ये ना अखबारें बस अब बहुत जल्दी, कुछ सालों की बात है, ये ख़त्म हो जाएंगी, because everything now, online papers and whatever. तो मैंने उसको बोला कि ठीक है, these days we get news even before the newspaper comes, लेकिन जितनी देर तक हम न्यूज़पेपर को मैं अपने हाथ में पकड़ नहीं लेता, उतनी देर तक मेरे को फीलिंग नहीं आती. This is the 55 years which have been going on, and we were taught by our parents when I was 8-9 years old कि भाई ये अखबार पढ़ो, कोई वर्ड उसमें मुश्किल लगता है तो उसका मीनिंग मेरे से पूछो, and we became so tuned to it. अब तो 2-3 अखबारें आती हैं, लेकिन that was the time when only Tribune used to be there in Chandigarh, and all newspapers came later, and we became so much addicted. That addiction still is there. I may or may not going into the details, चाहे मैं 2 मिनट में ही सारे के सारे पेजेस तीनों अखबारों के मैं अपना स्कैन कर दूं अपनी आंखों से, लेकिन मेरे हाथ में जरूर आनी चाहिए. आई पर्सनली फील कि जब से ये वाला शिफ्ट सोशल मीडिया की तरफ हुआ है, the level of creativity, the level of innovation, उसके ऊपर बहुत ज़्यादा फर्क पड़ रहा है, because we are not in a position to dilate upon some thoughts which come in the slow process when we are reading a newspaper or we are reading a book or we are reading a novels. जब वो थॉट्स हमारे माइंड में आती हैं तो साथ साथ में मैंने 4 लाइनें पढ़ी, मेरे को अच्छी लगी, तो my thought process is going many areas which gives me a new things to come into my mind. But when I am reading it on, say, electronic media, मेरे हाथ में फोन आ गया, आईफोन आ गया, उसमें मैंने देखा फटाफट एक दूसरी तरफ से मैसेज आ गया, उससे इधर से छोड़ के दूसरी तरफ. This is in fact fracturing our mind. Our minds are getting fractured in whole of the process. Krisha could be right, so many good points she has mentioned, because she is passing through age. She can look at it from the angle which goes into her mind. But sometime I am trying to analyze, rightly said by Mr. Sohan, कि जितना इससे दूर रहते हैं मन में शांति उतनी ही ज्यादा बनी रहती है. You get more time to spend yourself, which is the most important thing nowadays to look into. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Saab, for providing your, very valuable inputs on the entire show. And you've highlighted, with your own experiences how social media, to some extent, is okay. But if you go beyond, and that is why we've used the term abuse or overuse, then it's difficult to where to stop also. Now, friends, any other questions? Because we have time now. The best part today is that we still have time. So you can come out with, I think Dr. Rani had a question which I can read. She said social media should be renamed unsocial media because it makes us dependent on superficial virtual interactions rather than the real ones. Is it really required? No, I mean, now a question mark on the utility part of social media, whether it is required. It gives a half-baked information. It affects our creativity, as Dr. Saab has also talked about, and originality. How can we encourage its limited use? So basically, there are two questions which are here. Firstly, whether the social media is required. This is question number one. And second question is that, if at all it is required, then how to regulate it to that extent that it becomes useful. So I think Parul ma'am shall start, and maybe if Dr. Sohan can pitch in, and even Krisha. Yeah.
Ranji, thank you for the question. Apart from writing, I also do a little bit of yoga and meditation as part of my daily life. And what I have learned in many years is that balance is the key for everything in life. I've been through a tough phase where I had to deal with a lot of emotional issues. And the only thing that got me to the center was balance. And I think, as far as social media is concerned, we have to take its best points and leave its worst points. And I think as adults, we can do it. But for children, I think, like Dr. Sohan mentioned, we need to guide them, we need to persuade them, and to make them understand that how we can come in the middle. Use it for your education, use it for communication, use it for projects, but don't let it affect your mind and your body and your soul. So, as Dr. Sohan had mentioned, there are days when I do not pick up my phone unless it's a message from work. So at least twice a month, I try and do that. So I think the only thing is that in this fast changing world, we really need to be balanced people. And in terms of everything, not only social media, food, communication, exercise. So I feel that is important. And Mr. Chawla, thank you. People like you help us keep our jobs because you read newspapers. And so when I joined the newspaper industry very long back, I was a young woman. People told me, why are you joining the newspaper? They'll be closed in a few years. And thankfully, we have still survived it all. Because as you say that newspapers are something which we still can depend on more than the social media. Thank you.
Thank you, Parul ma'am. Dr. Sohan, would you like to add upon what Parul ma'am talked about? Yeah, Dr. Sohan, kindly unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Parul ma'am, to Arvinder sir also. I always believe that कि झूठ जितना फैलता है ना, सच की तलाश उतनी गहरी होती है. तो आई एम ऑल ऑफ द व्यू कि ये इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया ये वो जो कुछ भी है, पर जो ऑथेंटिक, क्योंकि जब लोगों को बहुत झूठ मिलता है ना, तो उनकी सच की प्यास और ज्यादा बढ़ जाती है, जो कि ऑथेंटिक पीपल होते हैं, एंड ओनली दे मैटर्स. एंड एज पर दिस क्वेश्चन इज कंसर्न फॉर साइकोलॉजिकल हेल्थ, देयर इज वन फैक्टर दैट मैटर्स अ लॉट. That is called acceptance. Because they always say that if you accept something, as social media has come, or because when you accept, then you make your strategy that how I have to deal with it. If social media has come, it is going to be there. It has some customers, it has some clients, and it is always going to be there. I always say accept it, but समटाइम आमिर खान ने 3 मूवीज बनाई, उनमें एक मूवी में वो बोलता है कि यार ना, बच्चे को जो करना है वो करने दो. यू नो वेरी वेल, तारे जमीन पे, उसको पेंटिंग में इंटरेस्ट है ना, तो उसको पेंटिंग में इंटरेस्ट करने दो. फिर दूसरी मूवी वो बनाता है, आमिर खान जी बनाते हैं अपना वो जो रेसलिंग पे थी कि बच्चे की ऐसी तैसी, जो आप सोचते हो ना उसके लिए ठीक कि ये पहलवानी करनी है तो उसको पहलवानी में उसको जिता दो। बट आई ऑलवेज से वन थिंग, सोशल, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था कि फ्रंटल लोब 18 साल तक डेवलप नहीं होती है, आई वुड प्लीज टेल यू, व्हेन योर किड इज टेकिंग एनी डिसीजन इन लाइफ, यू हैव टू बी देयर। ये जो वेस्ट वालों ने आपके दिमाग में कंसेप्ट में डाल दिया ना, बच्चे बिल्कुल इंडिपेंडेंट होनी चाहिए, उनका डिसीजन बिल्कुल इंडिपेंडेंट होना चाहिए कुछ मामलों के बारे में, एज फार एज सोशल मीडिया यूज इज कंसर्न, यू शुड हैव योर से। हमारा देश इसलिए इतना क्रम्बल होता जा रहा है because parents have said we believe in freedom and we believe in too much of democracy and all। जो बच्चों ने करना है वो उनको करने दे। I will always say for adults and for kids also, parents should have a definite say to the extent they are using this social media thing to save them from some junk that is going in their mind. Social media is here and it's going to be here, and some good aspects are also there with social media because so many other things have been addressed that was otherwise not. It would have taken a long time if there would have been no social media. So
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sohn. Any other question? Okay. There's an observation by Mr. Dinesh Juneja. He says that print media is still reliable, and I share with him and share the views of Dr. Chawla also. If the newspaper is cannot get hold of a newspaper in the morning, it seems that the day has not begun. So he also says like this: your job is very much safe and secure, and I think media should thrive and be rather bigger in times to come. Then Dr. Muhammad Suleiman, he says, question over dependence of social media will spoil the future of the child, but you have to depend on that. I mean, both ways. What he means is, I think you need to have a balanced part because you cannot wish it away. It is there and it will be there. But then how to regulate, how to come about this, how to control that aspect. So that he's talking about. So any other questions from the August audience? Because we still have some time to go. Maybe we can take maybe two more questions. Dr. Muhammad Suleiman says that reading habits. Yeah, this is interesting. That with coming of social media, and I think we have not talked about this also, but while preparing, I had this in mind that reading habits of the kids, especially, and of everybody for that matter, even me, you, or otherwise, have been affected because we are putting so much time on social media. Any takes on this? Firstly, Parul ma'am, and how to improve also.
So when we were students, we were told that, Dr. Sohan, if you can elaborate on it later, we were told that a human mind can process about 1,500 to 2,000 words a day in terms of reading and in terms of writing. And if that 2,000 words or 2,500 words is spent on WhatsApp messages and reading news which is not important and spending time on the computer, forwarding messages and processing them, then the human mind will definitely not be able to read a book or a newspaper or a journal or a research because you don't have the capacity to do that. So that goes same for writing as well as reading. Our professors would always tell us that you have a capacity of this much time. Please do not waste it on other things, but on something reading substantial. So I still follow that before we go to sleep, we must read for half an hour. It could be anything, but not the phone and not the computer.
Yeah, Dr. Sohn, would you like to add upon?
yeah, sir, my suggestion to all the viewers of this program would be, I have made it a habit that if I will ever use my phone, I would have a pen and a copy with me. If I'm listening to someone's lecture on YouTube or anything, or I will write it down. And if it is not worth writing it down, I am wasting my time. What is waste? There's a wonderful definition of waste. Anything that doesn't add value is a waste. There's a wonderful definition of waste. It says that anything that doesn't add value is a waste. You might be doing anything. So I would always say, whenever you listen to TED Talk, you listen to YouTube, you listen to any person, because your memories, as ma'am have said, our brain has got some limitations. So I always make diaries or some notebooks. I write down points, and it is always great when I revisit that after 1 month or maybe 5 6 months later, because then my experience has grown, and when I read that again, it comes into my mind. I will always tell you that if you can't listen to something while reading your pen and all those things, it is not worth it, because I believe in genetic psychology. Genetic psychology says we get great, and even there is a research on creativity, sir. It says, psychological research says, that if you write with pen, to the older generation, as to our generation, it is very true. If you write by pen or if you type on computer, you are create the when the it was compared that where creativity is more, when you write on paper with the help of a pen, your creative ideas are much more. Most of the authors, very great authors, they follow this. They first pen down their thoughts, then they type it. And it would be always great if we can have, because it is always neural connectivity, if we can at least adhere to this rule if we are using anything. That's my point,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you, Dr. Sohan. I think Professor Chawla, we have, the luxury of having Professor Chawla also with us, and he's an avid researcher, avid writer also. Would like to, have his thoughts also on this issue of, reading on one aspect, and, the how the reading habits have been adversely affected because of the social media and the technology overuse and abuse. Yeah, Professor Chawla.
Yeah, you know, I in earlier comments also mentioned, uh, you know, you see parents these days. Parul was mentioning, she mentioned somewhere the parenting part also. She talked about the child is born, and parents, they have the mobile, and the first thing child starts fetching in hand instead of the toys is uh, the iPhone or iPad or whatever they are having. That is the toy which these days children in the very childhood they start getting, which in fact is creating a situation right from the beginning, the kind of habits which ultimately we used, in past we used to, we used to try. I remember I used to give during off period, summer break, I used to give to my daughter a book कि ये नॉवल है. मेरे को याद है जब उसकी नाइन्थ की छुट्टियां हुई, तो आई गेव हर a book. Sohan must be knowing about that book. It was 1975 bestseller in those, that particular year, called Passages. It is a, theory now in psychology. In psychiatry, you must have been using, in behavioral, sciences, we use it. Gail Sheehy's Passages. Now, Passages 2 has also come in 1994. It came. These are these are good books. आई यूज टू गिव वन बुक कि मेरे को जरा ना इसकी 5 पेज की समरी, पूरे नॉवल को पढ़ के सारी छुट्टियों में 5-10 पेजेस की एक समरी बना के दो. नाउ इट वाज नॉट टैग्ड विद दिस, इट वाज टैग्ड विद सम इंसेंटिव कि यदि आप ऐसा करोगे तो चलो, अब अगले साल आपको काइनेटिक चाहिए तो कोई बात नहीं, दैट विल बी देयर, बट यू हैव टू अश्योर कि इसकी मेरे को आप 10 पेज की समरी इस नॉवल की बना के दोगे. You have to find out, you have to see the relevance of few things through which you try motivating. अरे वो समरी बनाएंगे, कुछ ना कुछ तो पढ़ेंगे ना. लेकिन जब बच्चों को हम शुरू से ही हाथ में 8 महीने 9 महीने जब उसने खिलौना पकड़ना है, उसके हाथ में आईफोन आ रहा है, तो you can imagine how things are going to grow. Problem is coming from that particular stage, because our younger generation, जो 25-30 साल के जो अब ग्रुप में हैं, दे में भी अब तो हमारे बच्चे भी बहुत बड़े हो गए, 35-32 एज, they have crossed those stages, but I keep on cautioning them कि ये बातें अच्छी नहीं हैं, because unless you get onto reading, right kind of creativity is not going to be coming in, because creativity, when you read, as I mentioned earlier, thoughts उसी समय generate होती हैं. But when you are on social media, you shift to the next thing so fast,
Yes.
that kind of creativity will not come. You will not focus, you will not dilate upon the real issues which are required. As a result of that, हमारा जो बड़ा superficial सा attitude, superficial से reactions, and real something is not coming out. We have to get on to, the exercises which promote some kind of thinking process, which promote some kind of, imagining, dreaming, which can of course come by reading books or newspapers or other things, but certainly not reading on, social media. And होता है, हो सकता है 5-10% exceptions हों जो लोग focus करते हैं, जो those who get tuned to this kind of a thing. But 90% of our younger generation, which is involved into, that is only getting huge information, as Parul has mentioned, 2000 words, 2500, 1500 words. They are getting so huge information getting into their minds कि वो कुछ भी comprehend कर नहीं पाएंगे. End of the day, they won't be even in a position to recall whole of the day what get into their mind. So that is these are few things, Mr. Sohan, Dr. Sohan said rightly, Parul said rightly, और Krisha, she had prepared, उसने तो बड़ा अच्छा अपना article तैयार किया हुआ था. I wish all those things which she mentioned could take practical shape. They are not taking practical shape as, it is required, what we expect out of our children. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Chawla, for bringing about so much enlightenment into the subject. I think Dr. Shalini is here. Shalini Sharma, she has raised her hand. She wants to say something. Yeah, Shalini, would you like to say something?
Hi, sir.
Yeah, hello, ma'am.
It's nice listening to everyone's experiences. I think it's not about it's not about kids only. It's about like parents, elderly people who all are also liking the social media, mobile, and the new technology. They are liking it so much. Like looking at Parul ma'am said, pornography had increased at the age of like 14 to 17. I saw so many old people at the age of 50, 60. They are full of guilt of this pornography thing. So I think the roots the root cause is like the elderly people, the parents who are on like totally on a technology thing. They need to think who are providing the mobiles to kids at the age of not 10, I think at the age of 1 year old.
Very true. So I think we have had, and if there are no further questions, then time to wrap up.
Just one moment. Just one suggestion for everyone. There's a lovely film documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma, which has been made by tech experts from across the world on the dangerous human impact of social media on us. And you'll be surprised to know that many of these tech experts don't let their own children use social media. They have created social media, but they don't let their own children use social media. So it will be lovely if all of us can. I watched it with my 17-year-old daughter, and it's called The Social Dilemma on Netflix.
Same from my side, ma'am. As a psychologist, there is no social media account of my kids. I don't let them use. I'm not giving them mobile till the time they are 18. I have told them from 18 years to whatever life you have, you'll be using those mobile phones. But till 18 years, you call me Hitler, you call me whatever, you are not getting any social media account or phone. Sometimes they say, Bapu sehat ke liye tu hanikarak hai, but this is the kind of Bapu as a psychologist I am.
I'm inspired. I'm very inspired.
All right, friends. So during this roughly around 80 minutes of some hard talk and some good conversation which went around, and quite interactive also. There are few outcomes and deliverables and a few take homes also, which I'll just very briefly like to sum it up. That one is that the fake news is spread over all the mediums. It is not only on social medium, but it is on print media as well, and it is on other medias as well. And now this is like a factory which is churning out fake news to the detriment and to the betterment of some and a few people, and a lot of money is also involved into the entire system. And this is leading to various negative aspects also, including depression, anxiety, health issues. And this is authenticated by the research carried out by MIT. And further on this, certain, and that is in front of us, that certain negative aspects like cyberbullying, trolling, suicides, pornography, they are also taking place, and that is very much a part of our social lives now. And the second speaker, talked about some good aspects, how during COVID times, it is only because of the technology that the classes are on. It is unfortunate that in government schools and the real, especially in developing countries, those people who cannot afford smartphones and the Wi-Fi's, somehow the kids' classes have been affected. And roughly, I was reading 5 crore Indian people, 5 crore Indian kids are now out of school because of the COVID pandemic. But those lucky ones who are into public schools and whose parents can afford, they are using to good extent. And Krisha highlighted some good features like even, which are really good, and which the students and others are also using. But the point is not, the use. It's a good medium. It's a good technology. It has shortened distances. It has given so many benefits in terms of governance, transparency, fairness, accountability, in terms of banking. It is saving time. It is leading to efficiency. It is leading to effectiveness. It is leading to economy. But the problem is the overuse and the abuse. We do not know, as Dr. Son Singh talked about, the where to stop. See, if you put in a point that where to stop, then I think that is wonderful. And we are all teachers and researchers. We are using this medium to a great extent. In the earlier, while the data collection was so difficult, now with just a Google form, you can spread it across to as many people as possible, and then the people will provide you some information which is therein. So it has some great positive aspects also, and not denying that aspect. Now, how to prevent, and the House and the panel was very consistently voted for certain aspects, like, there could be some apps which we do not require, especially, in terms of utility. So they could be uninstalled, the notifications could be muted. And this 111 rule propounded by Dr. Son Singh is very interesting, that at least, have 1 hour in every day. You can start with 1 hour every day. To wherein there will be no social media, lead it to one part time in that sense, and then 1 week, then leading to 1 month, and then see what happens. I mean, it will not kill you as such. It is just an addiction. So this is, and the book that I was referring to, by Professor Sherry Turkle, it talks about creating sacred spaces. Like you have, and I am reminding of while I was reading it, sacred space, like you have, smoking zones and no smoking zones. So therefore, you can have sacred spaces wherein social media is not allowed. And that sacred space, I mean, if how I have practiced it is, don't use it in your car, don't use it in your kitchen, don't use it in your bedroom, and even at the dining table. So if you have these sacred spaces, and then you can also go on, while you are on your physical exercises, or you are walking, or any form of exercise that you have, don't have that mobile phone with you. So I think even that will save you roughly 1.5 hour days of every day in terms of social media. Then other thing that came was, which Dr. Son Singh extensively talked about, physical activities. See, physical activities may be 1 hour, 15 minutes, or 20 minutes, as per your capacity and time. It provides you so much, estrogens and so much these chemicals that, that will further delay your want for these kind of that the high that you get with mobile phone your mind. And it will help you to improve your physical and mental fitness and capacities also. Then some kind of experiential learnings, which Parul ma'am was also talking about, listening to a story from a grandfather or a grandmother, which I think the kids are missing nowadays. And as parents also, I think it is our fault also that we are not giving that much time to the kids that was to be given to them. That was rather their due, because after putting in 8 to 10 hours in our jobs, while we come home, we put the further time that we have on our television or our social media as such. So that time which was theirs rightfully and legally, even we are not giving to them. So I think they are also missing. They are missing some good tutors. They are missing some good activities. They are missing some good stories which we could have told them, and rather they are dependent on somebody who's an outsider and maybe that are worth it or not. Then I would like to share two of my own, what I do. We have created a group for our school friends, and somehow, what Professor Chawla and Dr. Son Singh also talked about, that if you feel happy at the end of the day, and if you don't feel overburdened, you don't feel depressed, so then you have all the right to, put some, not all, but put some eggs into that basket. So therefore, herein, uh, uh, and the entire the school, the kids, rather now we are around middle-aged people. So they say that whatever time we have, maybe 15 minutes a day or 20 minutes or 25 minutes a day, if we go into the group and see the activities that are going on, just remembering the old what we did in the school times and being nostalgic about it. So if it gives you a high and happiness, that is worth it. So this is one. Secondly, Dr. Son Singh also talked about this, and I am practicing it in the sense that, rather than, I do wish people on their Facebook on their birthdays and anniversaries, but I have made it a practice since last 1.5 years to call the person in person and wish him on his anniversary and on his birthday. So especially, at least 2 times if he's married person, and if he's not, then at least twice a year we can talk to the person concerned. And if you do, then he also does it. So therefore, it becomes, let's say, around 4 times a year or 3 times a year. So the talk, the human touch, while rather than only on. So this is also very effective. Uh, Now, so we have come across, there could be various mitigation strategies. These are which if we can follow all these, or some of these will make our lives better. I mean, we cannot wish away the social media. We cannot wish away that it will go away. Only what we can do is we can regulate its usage. We can control its usage. And the most vulnerable section is the students and the kids, because they have, all they have to have their the physical development, the social development, religious. So we have to put them into all these aspects so that they try to balance it as such. And it cannot be done by force. It is only can be done by some kind of capacity building, or some kind of, talking to them, giving them time, giving them alternate. I think that is the word which is there. And we have to give them the alternate, that if not social media, then what it is. What they can be doing into this. Either it's a physical activity or a game, or if we're listening to a story by the grandmother, grandfather, so that can be done as such. Now, just to, end it up, it's an irony that on one hand, the technology has killed long distances and improved further relations. But on the other hand, it has killed conversation and furthered close relationships. Just think it over. Uh, so friends, with these words, we come to an end of this. And before ending, before thanking the elite panelists, I would request you, there's a Google form therein in terms of the feedback. Kindly fill up this form, so then you become eligible for the e-certificates, which we'll be sending you in due course. Secondly, this video will be uploaded on the IHRDI, International Human Resource Development Initiative channel in a day or two. So kindly go through it, and if possible, subscribe it, share it also. That will help us. It is very authentic material which is therein. And see, we have to have, apart from fake things, we have to have real things also in this world, so that those people who are vying and researching for that, they can get hold of this, and this will grow. I would like to thank, the 3 panelists of today, Ma'am Parul, who have joined us with, rather this time it was a short notice, Dr. Son Singh and Krisha, whom I requested just last night, and she came up with her observations on the entire show. All the 3 panelists, the August audience who joins us every week, and especially on Sundays. I know we spoil the Sundays, but somehow, now this has become a habit since last 24 weeks we are on. And I would like to thank the IHRDI team comprising of, Sanya, Mr. JPS Talwar, Dr. S.K. Sharma, Mohammad Sulaimanji, Chawla Sahab also for that matter, because we have their blessings. Even they may not be directly involved, but we know whenever time is there, and they give us good ideas on how to go about all this. So friends, with these words, we come to an end of this wonderful presentation and talk on this. I once again thank all the three panelists, all the August audience, and wish you whatever has been left of this Sunday. Wish you a enjoyable Sunday evening, and be safe, and goodbye to you. Sayonara, namaskar, sat sri akal.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.